The United States Constitution to protect and serve the people, and not to fear against them or use non-violent weapons against them. You are violating the most sacred oath you have taken. You are listening and obeying orders from tyrants who are taking their orders from the big banksters. Understand what you're doing here today will play effect throughout history. We are loving parent people that just want to peacefully stand in the street, and we want to face you officers and your nightsticks and your tear gas and your
getting ready to charge.
Disobey your orders! 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 We are American people. We just want to walk down the street. That's all we want to do here today. And we have to face you guys. Why does it have to be a confrontation between us and you? You are people. We are you. You are family. You are neighbors. Like all of us are here today. We are the same loving people. We mean no hate. We mean not to hurt anybody. We want to peacefully stand here as American citizens. And we have every God-given right under the Constitution to stand here and protect the most sacred oath that you guys have sworn to protect.
Obey your orders.
Understand the orders you are taking right now are unconstitutional.
Yes.
Understand right now what you guys are doing here today will play effect throughout history. The Germans listened to their orders. The Germans violated their civil rights, God-given rights in Nazi Germany in the 30s by simply listening to unconstitutional orders and not questioning authority. We are here because we mean no harm to you. We are tired of these private Federal Reserve bankers who are running this country and destroying this country from the inside. The tyranny that they commit against you and your family as well. These banksters who got $24 trillion.
Of our money!
$24 trillion of our money!
Of your money! Of your money!
And these banksters are ruining our lives right now. And we want to stand here as Americans and stand up and say, no, I won't tolerate this anymore. But we have to face our own brothers and sisters. Why is that? Why do you guys listen and take these unconstitutional orders? Why is this happening here in America here today? This is not America anymore. This country is run by big banks and big corporations. Understand? You may have your LRAD. The LRAD was used in Iraq and Afghanistan against insurgents. You're now using these weapons against the American people. How do you feel about that? The LRAD is a very violent weapon that can lead to hearing loss. You guys are hurting your own people here today. Even though they are called non-violent weapons, they do cause harm against us. Why harm your own brothers and sisters standing here today who peacefully want to assemble? Why? Why turn that sound weapon on us? We have done nothing wrong. We have not broken any laws. We mean no harm to you. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want to attack you. We want to stand here as Americans because we know our founding fathers died for this very right to stand here, to express our grievances. How do you guys sleep at night knowing you guys are using weapons that you guys used in Iraq and Afghanistan against terrorists, against the American people?
By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity. If you remain in this immediate vicinity, you will be in violation of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code, no matter what your purpose is. You must leave. If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and or subject to other police action. Other police action may include actual physical removal, the use of riot control agents and or less lethal munitions, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain. By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police.
Boy, Barry, was that federal government money buying all those fancy black uniforms?
Well, you know,
what do they call that? Lend, lease, loan, law enforcement assistance. Give them.
Yeah, well, we
What
thought-
about those vans? Where do you think they got the technology in those vans, Barry? Is that what Pittsburgh does? They got their own scientific labs?
Well, we thought that the police looked a little too tame, you know, in the blue uniforms that people were used to, you know, the Andy Griffith style looking police uniforms. We thought we could ramp things up. And,
I really enjoyed their percussion things.
Yeah.
The boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
the federal government has now got them out of those ugly uniforms and put them in nice new football Darth Vader uniforms.
Evidently,
don't you like
they,
them? They're
they
nice.
thought it was important protecting those bankers.
Yes.
What
well, you
is
gotta
so the bankers themselves so valuable? This G20 meeting, is that where Luke was?
Yes, the G20 is the group of 20, or 20 world leaders minus Barry, or who I'm playing today, minus Barry, who was gaveling in the first day at the UN Security Council, which is against the law. But yes,
Is that because of the Constitution, Barry?
Yes, the group of 20 were meeting to basically carve up each piece of the world that they wanted, and they had to do it behind the protection of, how shall we say, police state warriors?
Luke really did a good job of describing the First Amendment to these people and why, you know, America and USA and, you know, the whole idea of we have a constitution and a rule of law.
Exactly. He was doing an excellent job, and if you look closely, some of those stormtroopers, you could see a little bit of humanity glazing in their eyes.
Once again, boom, 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 boom.
Make a little song out of it, you know? Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to the police state, police state. Welcome to police state, police state. Welcome
does it
to
make you
police
feel
state,
great and
police
safe?
state.
Make
Welcome
you
to
really
police
feel
state,
great
police
and
state.
safe.
Banging on my little thing, banging on my thing, banging on my little plastic thing. I'm gonna hit you with my little
It's
plastic.
making us great.
I'm gonna hit you with my billy club, my billy club. 'Cause
I'm gonna
it's
tase you
all
with my
about
billy
the
billy,
police
taser
state,
dilly billy.
Police state. Welcome to police state, police state, billy club, police state.
I really like it's more, you know, it's an old steel town.
Yeah.
Shh, boom, shh, boom, shh, boom. Sounds like a factory thing when they were hitting their shields.
Sure,
You know,
oh,
trying to
yeah.
intimidate in this case, protesters. What were they protesting? Their freedoms. We want freedom of speech. But remember, we were told we were attacked because of our freedoms.
Oh, well, that's the biggest...
They hate us because of our freedoms.
Well, and when you think about...
And only the people that tell us the truth told us they attacked us for our freedoms.
Yeah, when you think of the lasting effects of 9/11, one of the biggest contradictions and oxymorons in the whole thing is the idea that the terrorists attacked us because of our freedoms, but then they were going to take and enact the Patriot Act and take all of our freedoms away.
That shows those terrorists.
Oh,
they
yeah.
can't take our freedoms.
They can't
We can
take our
take them better. Nobody takes our freedoms like we do.
No one takes your freedoms better than the government can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if you don't have freedoms, that means we have more government.
That's right. And
You're
government's
safer
good.
with more government. Matter of fact, if you could just put government around you like a blanket, you'd be safe. Hey, back to outside those protesters. Right now we got our cameraman Serge out there.
Yes, Serge. You
Serge,
getting anything?
are you catching any of this? You know, later on in the show, we're going to have Serge, you know, do a little testimony for us.
Yeah, he's a hell of a cameraman. I'll tell you, the first time I ever saw Serge's reel, I was blown away. Blown away.
A lot like the buildings, huh? Is blown away. Hey,
Yeah.
reminds me of Silverstein. Was he your buddy?
No, but he does have friends in high places. You got to be a real moron. I mean, you ever watch those shows where the guy's in the interrogation room and, you know, the cops are working on him and he blows it, he screws up, he lets out part of his story that he wasn't supposed to, and they catch him, right? So Silverstein's on television, on PBS, and he does it in front of the world, and what happens?
What?
Nothing. Nothing
Well-
happens to him. He says, "We pulled the buildings," and nothing happens. It's unbelievable.
I like that. Pulled the building.
Yeah. So we decided there was so much loss of life that the best thing to do was pull it. And so we
So
pulled the
we,
buildings and we watched them fall. That's the lie. Can you believe it?
And he's got everybody believing that it's a guy in a cave.
Ah, a guy in a cave, yeah.